morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is February 8th, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets rally higher after Chairman Powell makes some comments about interest rates and about the economy. Markets rallied. Now first, no major economic events scheduled for today, but as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Japanese yen gaining versus the US dollar, that was the first one to go higher. And of course, looking at the indices, the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones traded most of the day unchanged until the news came out and they rallied higher. Now looking at commodities, gold and oil both rally. Okay, oil rallying higher, back from $72 up to $76. And looking at the stocks, Facebook comes back to life. It is the strongest one on the board. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, showing some strength and pushing higher as that rallied as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start with the USD Japanese yen, and you could see that it did get stronger from 132 down to 130. Now we're in a choppy market, okay? However you want to say it, however you want to break it, we're in a very choppy market. We had a nice rally for the dollar, a nice correction for the Japanese yen, and now we're consolidating in an area between 127 and we're figuring that part out. What's the upper limit? So right now it's going to be 132. That was the gap up and then the fill in the gap. The question is whether or not we're going to bounce off of this level. Okay, this level is really very important because you could see that we did fill in the gap and then some, and now we're bouncing off of it. So all intents and purposes, we just filled in the gap. Now looking at the other major Forex symbols, nothing much doing. So I'm going to just skip to commodities. Looking at gold, we did bounce to 1880 after hitting that 1850-ish level. And that is the point that we're at. Now, are we going back to our highs of 1950? We're a long cry away from that, and it still has to prove to us that it is there. Okay, so keep that in mind looking at gold. Looking at crude oil, a bit stronger. As you can see, last couple of days, we rallied right back to $77. It's perfect. It works like magic. $72 you're buying, $82 you're selling, and somewhere in between you just, hang in. So that has continued to be trading in that range, and we'll look to be continued to trading in that range. Now looking at the US market, starting out with the Dow Jones, a big move on the upside. If we look at a 4-hour chart, look at a daily chart, just on the upper limit. Okay, not even close to 34,300, but getting closer to it. Okay, that is the upper limit, and I'm suspicious that we're gonna tease us with that 34,400, and then we're gonna go higher and break out. Could be, okay? The markets are completely unpredictable right now when it comes to the information that is coming into the market and how the market is reacting to it. Because all intents and purposes, we're in a recessionary environment. People are being laid off, market is cooling off, and this is about 2,000 points from its all-time highs. Something is a little bit weary here, okay? So it's a little bit hard to say where we're going to be, but there is significant resistance at 34,400, so keep that in mind. But if you do break out, that's a breakout, okay? So, we're looking at some of the stocks and they're getting stronger, okay? At least for now, okay? If they change character, and they do change, that's something else. Looking at the NASDAQ, also rallied back yesterday to that 12,700. Remember, 13,000 is a significant resistance-ish level. You can see that 12,888 is where we were last time, and then we retrace. Now, looking at the individual stocks, Facebook is really strong, okay? Back at that 191, and will it test it higher? That's the question we're all asking. Looking at Microsoft, traded higher, broke that resistance-ish level. If you look at Apple, also on its highs at 154, okay? So all these are really teasing us on the upside, but we got to get that confirmation that it is really getting that much stronger. Looking at Tesla, also close to its highs at 196-ish level as it's consolidating higher. Now looking at the tech stocks, the bellwethers, Intel, okay, did rally, but not back to its highs. So keep that in mind. If we look at Cisco, also strong, but not at its highs of $50, okay? That's a pivotal move for Cisco. It's going to be very important if that does break higher to give us an element of saying, hey, the rest of the market is going to go higher. The fact that the FANG stocks are going higher is one thing, but when the Cisco and the Intel go higher, that is a much more important barometer for the general market. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin as it consolidated at that 23 to 24,000-ish level. We never broke that 22,700. That's important. Now we're bouncing off of it. Now I'm not going to say that we're going to bounce to 25,000, but I'd like to keep an eye on this on the upside and both the downside, okay? Because if it will have that breakout, it's going to be in either way, and it's going to be extreme. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day.